What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. I'm glad to be back home, and that memoir was a fake. Like the video's intro plays because we got a lot to get into.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
It makes sense to me intellectually.
Sense Mims, who a lot of people have been asking to be on the show.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Made sense.
Make it make sense. You know what was up.
Big Mims.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
Right here. This is my wife right here. See what I'm saying? This is what I do. That's what I like. He came in here want to act like he was all hard and manly. You come in here acting hard, we gonna see how hard you is.
What's up? I'm seeing the chat. I appreciate the love. I see y'all are excited. Let's get to the mess. Shout out to T.I. and Tiny. They are a little bit richer. Earlier, it came out that they had won 17 million, but now it's saying it's 17 in real damages and 53 million in punitive damages because of, I guess they took the OMG Girls images and made dolls out them. I mean, I can definitely see it. I don't know how much money the company made from the dolls, but shout out to them. They're richer. They're just a little bit richer because everybody knows T.I. and Tiny got the money. Know what they do with it? We don't know. Let me stop. This isn't about them. Let's get right into this. Everybody has been telling me I need to read this book. I have purchased the book, but just to give you a little update, it says Diddy's debauched life of threesomes and unspeakable violence exposed in a gory tell-all book from Kim Porter, the dead mother of his sons. A new book accuses Sean Diddy Combs of assaulting his late girlfriend, taping himself doing it with a male teenage pop star, and, parties with an Oscar winner and his wife. The 60-page book, Kim's Lost Words, claims to be a collection of the diaries of Kim Porter, the mother of the three children of whom passed away from pneumonia in 2018, leaked by her friends. It describes Combs' colorful life from the 1990s through Porter's final year, including alleged philandering with both male and female top musicians and rappers and debauched group sessions at his home in which Porter took part. I just feel like when I heard that Kim had mentioned the men in this book, already my antenna went up because people just don't. I could see Kim wanting to get away from Diddy, but I cannot see Kim really doing anything that would truthfully disparage her children's father. Would I like for her to have done it, since I do think that he played a part in why she's not here? Absolutely. But do I think she would have done it? No. And that's why I really wasn't taking the book too seriously. The book was published on September 6th, just days before the rapper and Bad Boy Records founder was indicted for racketeering and sex trafficking by federal prosecutors in New York. Kim was beautiful. The short memoir has disturbing alleged accounts of Diddy slapping Porter after losing his temper and even making death threats to her. In the book, Porter recounts discovering and making copies of tapes Diddy made of himself, doing it with young boys he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went to be a household name. Everybody was looking into Justin. Everybody was looking into Usher. I just don't think that Kim would have put, that her baby daddy was a pedo for the sake of her children. But you guys can put in the chat if you believe that the book is real. The final entry of the memoir has Porter falling fatefully ill, dramatically texting her friends, "He got me," and then calling 911. Y'all, this book is now a bestseller. We're gonna get into it. It's a New York Times bestseller already. The book's Los Angeles-based publisher, producer Chris Todd claims Porter shared a thumb drive of her writing with close friends, which he obtained and lightly edited into a book under the pseudonym Jamal T. Millwood. The book is marked as being printed in Las Vegas on September 7, 2024. Todd has not offered any documentary evidence to prove its authenticity, but put hard copies up for sale on Amazon. I was lucky enough to meet someone that purported to have Kim Porter's flash drive, he told Daily Mail. Right. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me see. I read it and I'm shook if it's real. We have like over 1,700 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button if you are new to the channel. Please subscribe. We are well on our way to 190,000 subscribers. I think we're like maybe 2,000 away. So I know we have a lot of new straight shooters. If you are new to the channel people are called straight shooters. That part right here. Todd has not offered any documentary evidence to prove its authenticity. I know the celebrity source pretty well. I know how close they were to Kim and Diddy and all the people in the hip-hop community. This was supposedly for Kim Porter from the grave to come forward and tell her story. Todd said he did not originally want to put his name on the book for security reasons. This is a dangerous situation, and I didn't want to claim ownership of Kim's words, but now I'm willing to come forward because of the recent arrest of Sean Combs. Now the federal government has finally acted. I feel safer to come forward. I feel like if somebody had a copy of this book and it was Kim's friend or family member, they would have published it and had the proceeds going to the kids, not this random, not this random Caucasian man that nobody even knows. And are you sharing the money with your source? Details of the scandals alleged in the book have already been reported. Diddy allegedly took out a Pow Pow and started shooting at a club in '99, then made a rapper on his label Shine take the fall. Combs and then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were arrested over the innocent. We know all this. He hosted parties that were just a fancy name for orgies, and everyone wanted in. We not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I would never have been able to do with a straight man. She said she was sleeping with a well-known married woman. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with the chart-topping rapper and the woman's husband. I was grateful I wasn't asked to join in that room, Porter allegedly wrote, saying she didn't really like the rapper. Porter allegedly wrote that she and Diddy had an open relationship and that she regularly slept with legendary late rapper Tupac Shakur. Had anybody heard that she was sleeping with Tupac? I just can't stop thinking about that night. It's amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. The Porter memoir claimed Combs first hit her after she refused to use. Okay. The Porter memoir claimed Combs first hit her after she refused to use a strap-on on him. I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please? Diddy said, according to the book. I became infuriated, the book said, adding that Porter told Diddy to instead have sex with a male music executive she believed he was having an affair with. Then Sean hit me. This was the first time, but he slapped me hard. Before I could form words, he began to beg, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Holding my cheek where he hit me, I turned and ran off. That should have been it, but I guess I was a glutton for punishment. The book described another alleged incident at Porter's apartment. He fiercely slammed me to the ground. Then he pulled out a Pow Pow and sat it on the table. He knelt on one knee and got right in my face. You're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. He's a terrifying monster. Porter allegedly wrote that she discovered videotapes of Sean's sexual encounters in his bedroom vault and made copies of them as protection for herself as part of her plan to leave him. But the memoir said that when she watched back the tapes, she was shocked. Some of the tapes had things I would have never expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys, like two hip-hop stars formerly managed by Diddy and then the 18-year-old pop star, I would have never known. The book's publisher claimed the friends of Porter and Diddy who gave him the memoir also had copies of the music mogul's alleged tapes. He claimed a shady interlock. I don't know that word. had even been trying to sell them to Hollywood documentary producers. I was given the memoir 60 pages. I was also given a photo and told if I wanted to access the Diddy tapes, I could have that also. I know for a fact that the tape of Diddy with the teenage pop star has been shopped to Hollywood studios by other parties. Todd also shared a photo of Porter, which he said was taken in her bathroom at her Toluca Lake mansion around 2009. He claimed a friend of Porter's took the photo while she applied makeup to cover up an injury from one of Diddy's alleged attacks. The photo background matches realtors' photos from the master at the mansion where Porter was later found in 2018. In 2020, Todd published a book on O.J. Simpson titled Ron's Revenge, putting forward a theory that O.J. killed his wife and her former friend Ron Goldman with an accomplice. If it's not the first time Combs has been accused of being a predator. So Albie Shore has come out to say the book is a fake, but acknowledging that there is a book. It says, Albie Shore calls for an official investigation into Kim Porter's death and her alleged missing files. It is truly disheartening to think that those she considered close may have conspired with the perpetrator to obscure the truth. He says, peep game. For over a decade and a half, I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hopes to protect loved ones, avoid deaths and tragedies that could have been avoided. Despite this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, medically silenced to cover up these crimes you're all now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me from exposing. It only aimed to prevent me from further sharing public facts and insights shared with me during our frequent and intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly by ending my life. Wow. I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the residence of Ms. Kimberly Porter, including the publicist who assisted drafting this. It has come to my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices, which contained her original book notes. Original notes are distinct from the fabricated bullshit and offensive pages circulated via Amazon, which depict graphic sexual acts involving me that never took place and were edited and added after Miss Porter's tragic murder. He's coming out swinging. Ali, thanks for being a member for 17 months. She says, Kim's kids need to sue that writer. He is profiting off her with lies. He didn't even label it as an unauthorized. The man is garbage. Desiree says, Albie only denied parts about him, not the book. Well, he's saying that it's fabrications. So if it's not real, it would be fake, right? Original notes are distinct from the fabricated bullshit and offensive pages circulated via Amazon, which depict graphic sexual acts involving me that never took place and were edited and added after Ms. Porter's tragic murder. I urge you to consider who authorized such a fictitious publication without categorizing it as calculated fiction. I mean, it feels like he's standing on business, Ms. Desiree. Amanda said, I think it's more of a diary or journal, but not a book. I do think that she definitely kept records. I don't know. Miss Minnie, thank you for the super sticker. Belly B says, is this where the story of the 732 dildos came from? I don't know. I have no idea. Kimberly, thanks for the super sticker. And Miss Marie, thank you for the super sticker. Let's see. We got like almost 3,000 in the chat. Guys, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's see. The publicists and the conspirators worked in concert from separate camps launching this campaign, which appears to be a very personal and a deliberate distraction from the involvement in covering horrific crimes, assisted in and perplexed the public for many years, which I have personally experienced and cautiously deemed a medical crisis. For legal reasons, until the rest of these atrocities were uncovered by authorities, making it more believable to a gullible public that has been fooled for so long. Ms. Porter's missing devices, alleged already in evidence, unquestionably contain the critical evidence that have been concealed. I'm convinced that evidence corroborates closely with details outlined in a recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it's pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to also concealing the alleged murders of several prominent artists, a situation that has left many bewildered. Yet those who are immersed in culture and familiar with the intricacies of the entertainment industry may have a clear understanding of the obvious. It is with a heavy heart that I reflect on the legacy of our beloved Lady KP. It is truly disheartening to think that those she considered close friends and who were financially compensated by her perpetrator may have conspired with the perpetrator to obscure the truth and tarnish her name. My name and her unfinished book notes with these ridiculous and unfounded narratives. The absence of Miss Porter leaves a void, depriving her of the opportunity to address these inaccuracies personally and to share her own factual memoirs detailing the brutal terror and madness she endured. Check all who text messages of those who serve in a PR capacity, as they have brilliantly and underhandedly crafted this fictitious story to service a personal vendetta. Now, I don't know who wrote this, but this is written very well. I feel like all of his co-conspirators' text messages and iCloud accounts have definitely been deemed discoverable. So I would not be surprised if the feds have these things that Albie Shore is talking about. He is literally saying that on the day she died, they took her laptop. They took her phone. Why would anybody come in and steal somebody's laptop who's deceased? Why would that laptop have to go back to Diddy? I feel like these are pertinent questions. Sonia says I just finished reading that book and returned it. I'll be getting it. Somebody got it for me. I'll be getting it in a couple days. If y'all want me to review the book, we can definitely review the book. There's so much to unpack. Unfortunately, I'm the only survivor by the blessings of a medical team that initially gave up because of multiple system organ failure, septic, intubated on a ventilator for 38 days, and forced to visit death's doorstep. But the God I serve and worship had another plan. Keep in mind that this is just the G-rated version of what I endured over a decade, plus to silence the OG. I also kept forensic records of every individual who was sent my way to set me up, track me, gaslight me, and allegedly cause harm to my system. Now, I can tell you from a source that the hack stuff is very true. Multiple people were hacked. Multiple people who were suing Diddy were hacked. Unfortunately, Kimberlina was taken from us way too soon, and before she could complete her true thoughts, before this fake unauthorized edit released on Amazon, which the disappearance of her computer and vital evidence raises significantly more questions, it is evident that her potential to expose the realities of her personal abuses, being drugged, the sex trafficking and human trafficking she was privy to, akin to the brave actions of Miss Cassie Ventura, posed a threat to those profiting from such heinous activities. In a nutshell, Kimberly was allegedly taken from us because she was sent on a course to accomplish what Mrs. Cassie Ventura did by ignited the bonfire, which brings us here today with the avalanche that has brought Satan to their chambers. Let us honor the memory of Lady KP, acknowledging the strength struggles she faced and the truth she sought to reveal in her own personal notes, not the fake, unauthorized nonsense using my name to keep dragging me as a social punishment for exposing this years ago. There will be a significant suit headed right for the heads of the responsible parties who dragged my name into this bullshit. Kim and I talked right up to the days prior to her demise. She was in good health, and we are in such a great friend space, reminiscing about old times and celebrating news of our son's accomplishments. No affair, just great friends. We must continue to advocate for justice and ensure that every one of the individuals who conspired against her are held accountable and prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. I feel like he's standing on business, y'all. Let me see. Y'all definitely put in the chat if you do want me to read the book. Like I said, somebody got it for me, so I should be getting it in a couple days. But let's turn to the people who are turning their back on Diddy.
You ain't got to worry about us on them motherfucking tapes. Now check this out. Anybody in here that has, I got one thing to say to you. What you? I got one thing to say to you. If you've ever been to one of those parties, what the you got to say? Boy or girl, you better check yourself or you check yourself.
Meek Mill, Diddy's special friend. It says Meek Mill wants to pay a team of investigators $100,000 to investigate his name allegedly being tied to Diddy's case. I want to hire an investigative team with $100,000 in cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill's name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy. Something's not right. You were his special friend for all this time. Now there's no way that Meek Mill was BFF, special friends, very close to Diddy, and did not actually see some of the stuff that we know was going on with Diddy. Even you saying this just makes people want to tie you to him even more. He says, the streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side. Somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of who's powering and how exactly my name is connected to this. Nobody's saying Meek was a conspirator. The only thing that they keep saying was that he was Diddy's booty buddy. Nobody's saying that he committed a crime, but to act like you weren't aware, you weren't going to these parties, you were just twerking in the pool when he was saying, I had it in my intro, where he was saying, you doing it, daddy. He just keeps making it worse for himself. But here, this was absolutely hilarious to me. You know, Clive Davis always spoke so highly of Diddy. It's been said, allegedly, that Clive Davis was one of the people who jumped Diddy into this. Now, that's allegedly. But let's see what he had to say about Diddy.
P. Diddy. Diddy. What do you make of that situation? Right. No.
Clive is not saying. I think Clive might have tinkled or pooped his pants a little bit when he heard the question. Y'all see he got on his fancy purple jacket. He's going to one of the, top eateries. He probably tinkled.
Comment from Clive Davis on P. Diddy. Mr. Davis, you're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid?
Now, Clive definitely heard what he was being asked. He heard, oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's like Erica Jane's husband playing the old card now. Oh, I can't hear. You heard.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis?
Diddy was his main man. Like, Diddy was his, my opinion, I feel like he empowered Diddy. I feel like a lot of these very rich, wealthy men empowered Diddy to do these horrible things. And who knows, he might have been getting somebody for Clive. Clive might have been in the room. Clive might have, let me stop. Now he's deaf.
Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
Now, I know Clive is really rich, but is he rich enough to bring his Cocker Spaniel to dinner? Not a word. He rolled up the window and said, drive. Leonardo DiCaprio. So I can't show y'all all the photos that are coming out because some of them don't have on clothes, but Leo DiCaprio denouncing Diddy. It says Leonardo DiCaprio breaks silence on hanging out with Sean Diddy Combs as picture emerges of him at the Notorious White Party. Leonardo DiCaprio has distanced himself from Sean Diddy Combs after a picture of him and the music mogul's Notorious White Parties emerged. A source close to the Hollywood actor, who's 49, said he hadn't had anything to do with Diddy for years. Combs was arrested last week and indicted in the Southern District of New York. Let's see. We all know that Diddy had parties. We all know that at a certain point, I think they say around 12, if you don't want to be in an orgy, you got to go. And not everybody's invited to them. That's a whole big thing. And nobody technically really knows. We all know that TD was at the party, but we don't know if TD was able to stay and spend time after 12 at Diddy's party. We don't know. We don't know. It's a possibility because he was at the parties. We don't know what Leo was doing, but Leo is a notorious modelizer who at I think like 49 is still dating the 20-year-old models. Are we gonna say that this dude who was at like the height of his fame and invited to Diddy's debauchery wasn't gonna partake? Who knows? But now he's distancing himself. I don't feel like the feds are going to give us everything that they have in those tapes. I do feel like the feds are going to protect people, but I really want to know who and what is in these tapes. Leonardo DiCaprio has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. He attended a few of his parties back in the early 2000s, but literally everyone did. They were not freak-offs. They were big house parties. Leo was at the start of his career at the time and has moved way past his partying. So was Justin Bieber. Diddy has a type. He has nothing to do with any of that world. So for anyone to assume that he will get roped into this based on a few grainy photos that are more than 20 years old is ridiculous. Leo said he wants absolutely no parts. I found this filing and we got to talk about it. Guys, we got over 4,500 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. Let's see where we are on likes. We only have 1,000 likes. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes pretty quick. Let's see. Where are we at? Kimberly, thank you for the super sticker. Miss Mary, thank you for the super sticker. Jessica, hi Mims, is Jessica still watching from? We know you're our Australian straight shooter. What's up, Jess? ST said, just requested an Amazon refund. Got it instantly. And they said, no need to return the item. They know that book is trash. Love the show, Mims. Oh, shit. Even Amazon saying don't return the item is insane. Caden Patrick says, now, Mims, he waited for Diddy to be arrested, then wrote the book like he had baby oil in the pen. Wicked NC says, Al wouldn't admit what's in the book anyway, true or not. It spoke of him doing nasty with Diddy. We really think he gonna say, yeah, it's real. Good point. Well, I'll know in a couple days when I get the book. Love on High says, the book is a money grab. We are smarter than this. Yolanda, Clive said that shit ain't got nothing to do with me, but it got everything to do with him. Everything to do with him. I've heard a few things about Clive. Caden Patrick, Clive is Diddy's daddy. Along with L.A. Reid and Russell. Brows and Aesthetics, San Diego. Thanks for the generous super stick or super chat. Love you, Mims. Just happy to catch you live. I appreciate you, Brows and Aesthetics. Okay. So let's move on to this because this was another little tidbit that I found. It says, to be clear, despite the indictment naming one victim in count 2, this case is not about just one victim. The government's evidence to date, including the defendant's own communications, demonstrates that the defendant has used force and coercion against multiple victims. In addition to these women, the defendant has assaulted a host of other individuals, including his employees and witnesses to his violence. For example, the defendant directed his rage toward his employees and those close to victim 1, who had seen him physically abuse victim 1. including by throwing these witnesses against walls and onto the ground, choking them and throwing objects at them, among other things. So we talked about the co-conspirators turning on him. Now we're talking the staff. So everybody always said, you know, why no one helped Cassie? Why nobody helped Cassie or the other people that were being abused? Now you have it in writing. The people that spoke up got beat up. So you try to defend her, you're going to get it next. Dawn said in her lawsuit that he threatened her life when she attempted to help Cassie. Now we know that he was actually putting his paws on people if they, I guess, butted in his business or tried to stop him from beating her up or whomever he was beating up at the time. Did you call that man TD Jakes? Y'all are messy. Y'all are real messy. You did not call this man TD Jakes. OG Case Loan says, so anything new as far as TD Jakes involvement? I'm done. Why would you? Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. Okay, sorry, let's continue. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Throwing witnesses against the walls and onto the ground, choking them and throwing objects at them, among other things, particularly when they attempted to protect victim one. In doing so, the defendant has demonstrated that he is not only a danger to victims and witnesses, but also obstructive and willing to engage whatever is necessary, including physical violence, to instill fear in witnesses to keep them silent. All of this violence against victims, witnesses, and other factors into the analysis of the defendant's dangerousness. Now, that's something new, y'all. I had not heard before that his staff was now turning on him. We knew the co-conspirators who could have potentially gotten charged. Somebody did bring up a good point about Little Rod. Little Rod, maybe because he was paying the prostitutes for Diddy, was considered a co-conspirator. So he might have, taken a deal with the feds if they were going to charge him. That was a good point. That was left in the comment section. Let me take this picture off. Yo, so messy. Somebody else asked me a question about where Diddy was. They thought he was moved. This proves that he was not. Following September 18, 2024 court appearance, the court ordered a status update from counsel concerning any requests related to the location of Mr. Combs' detention. At this point, there is no request from counsel that the court take any action. So he's just going to sit in that jail. This is the same jail Epstein was in. That's the same jail that he deserves to be in. And they say the conditions are deplorable. So before we get into Mary, I saw this and I was like, this, first off, this must have been before he got his veneers. This was still when he couldn't close his mouth. Rick says, if there's no cease and desist, then that means the book is real. Well, the book was just kind of like put out. So who would do a cease and desist? Like maybe Kim Porter's children? Kim Porter's estate? We could look into it. Let's see.
Parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
Diabolical. Diabolical.
Whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down, racial barriers.
Allegedly drugging people is just breaking down racial barriers. This is insane that this man was able to do all this for so long. This is crazy. And this is how you spin it. You're breaking down racial barriers by drugging people.
Break it down.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
He was proud. He was proud. Let's see. I want to show you guys this. So if you did not know, Mary J. Blige, I don't want to show the clip because Sherry will get me, but I can show you the photos. Mary J. Blige has the worst timing in the world. The absolute worst timing. Let me go here. So Mary has decided to announce her tour. I'm telling you guys, look out very soon for Mary to be implicated. She is dropping an album and she's going on tour. And the thing about Mary is, I can tell you that my favorite Mary album is My Life. That album, the emotion, everything, that is like one of my all-time favorite CDs. But with that being said, this is not the right time to market yourself. Like literally, this is not like, who in your PR team thought the shit's about to pop off? Go ahead and let's go on a press tour. This is not gonna play out well for Mary. Let's see. She looks good though. It says, when it's all said and done, it's never all said and done. I owe my fans a gratitude I can't put into words, so I put it into a show. The For My Fans tour coming soon. See you there. Be sure. I think it's Neo, Mario. Now, why she's going on tour with Neo and Mario, I'm not really quite sure. Under normal circumstances, I probably would have been there, but I can't see if the stuff about Mary comes out. And trust me, there's more stuff. If the stuff about Mary comes out, I can't see that tour happening. I don't think that would destroy her fan base, but I do think it would be splintered. Somebody said this is not the time to be kicking it with Neo. Let's see. Take Neo off. Mary says she's booked and busy. Don't bother her with that other mess. I don't know, y'all. I don't see this turning out well for her. She looks good though. Let's see. This has some music in it, but I'll try to take the music out as we go.
Mary. Mary, amused.
There's only one Mary J. Blige. I don't know. Can run out and get how many girl groups and turn their hat backwards and fix their hair like mine, but they'll never be me because I'm just me. And I don't act out Mary. This is Mary every day.
Like so many times before in her life, Mary felt betrayed and abandoned by the people she trusted the most.
Me and him were like this, like, whatever Puff did for himself, he would do for me. And that was no longer happening. It was happening for the other artists. So, I was a little hurt.
We started to like move apart from each other. And then some of the arguments we had, we didn't make up as quickly.
Now, aside from him trying to turn Faith Evans into Mary, Mary was best friends with Lil' Kim, and Faith and Lil' Kim, of course, were fighting over Biggie. Not this is the pretend nothing is happening tour. Y'all are literally just as messy as me. It is what it is.
As we used to.
Smoking and drinking and hanging and, and hating yourself and not being able to look at yourself.
Smoking, drinking and doing drugs with Diddy. Let's see. Loretta says, I've enjoyed your content this evening. Well, thanks. I appreciate you, Miss Loretta. The official Thais report. Hey, he says, I'm on chapter 9. This book is fake as them suits Bishop Whitehead used to wear. I'm going to find out, Thais. Caden Patrick says, Mary's touring in the cell next to Diddy. It's not gonna turn out well. Shannon, listen to Tisa read excerpts. Had feeling that J-Lo's team had been doing overtime on damage control from most like Jay-Z. May have skewed to make it seem as if she was also powerless and innocent. J-Lo has been extremely quiet. She's been extremely quiet. And I feel like she was involved. I mean, I feel like Diddy would have involved her in whatever he was doing. He was like Caligula. If you're involved with him, you're going to do what he wants you to do. And at that time, she was still a fledgling musician and needed his influence. So we'll see. Billy B says, her and them knee-high boots better tour Bali. Now, if we see a picture with Russell and Mary, we will know what's up. Goddess Noel says, I'm not mad at Mary going on tour. You know she still got to pay Kendall. Somebody put out a theory that Kendall was a handler for Mary. Like the relationship was like a front. And now I don't even know what to believe. I don't know what to believe at this point. Autumn McCaddy says, Mary's about to get implicated next along with Jay-Z. I can feel it. It's going to come out. The feds have the tape. Just remember, who told y'all? It's going to come out. But anyway, so guys, I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here. I know I was a little bit late today, but I literally just got back into town, so I knew we had to talk. So I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Like the video on your way out. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I think we're almost at 189,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So you guys have a good day and stay away from Diddy. Bye.